A new poll is out this weekend saying Louisianans believe President Bush's response to Katrina is better and more effective than President Obama's approach to the BP oil spill. The public policy polling said 54% said Bush did the better job compared to 33% who picked Obama. The study also points out many of those hardest hit during Katrina are no longer in the region to vote in the poll. It's time to let the Willis's watchdogs out. Ben Ferguson is a radio show, talk show host in Memphis. I don't know how many times I can say show host. Elvis Hennigan is a Newsday columnist and a Fox News contributor. And Mike Reed is the global editor for the Dow Jones Newswires. Ben, let's start with you. What do you make of this?
Yeah, how hard was it for George Bush to win this poll when you had the President of the United States of America that said finally after 50 days of waiting that he was looking for somebody's A to kick? I mean, it wasn't that hard to win this poll. Now, I'm not taking anything away from what George Bush did, but you look at the President of the United States of America, he didn't even talk to the CEO of BP Oil for over 50 days. So this one to me is a no-brainer. It has nothing to compare to, a lot of people that were affected by Katrina all of a sudden left and went away. Look, people saw the obvious. This president totally screwed up when it came to dealing with the oil spill because he didn't talk to the people in charge.
Ellis, do you agree?
That makes no sense at all, Ben. I mean, first of all, the oil spill is like halfway to being cleaned up 5 years after Katrina. It's still a total mess. You know what these polls are, honestly? They're party identification polls. Louisiana leans Republican these days. You ask people, you like the Republican guy or the Democratic guy. It doesn't matter what the topic is, whether you're judging his necktie or not, they're going to say the one they're going to vote for anyway.
Mike?
I think
let's let Ben respond. Ben, go ahead.
No, look, I think it's sad that you don't give people more respect when they've gone through a tragedy like Katrina and like this oil spill.
I respect those people tremendously.
But obviously, I don't care if you're there from there, or not. You're literally saying that these people don't have enough of their own brain to know how they're affected by these two tragedies and to be able to grade the two people in charge.
But Ben, listen, that's silly. These are wonderful people. A lot of them are my relatives. They're not the smartest people in the world, but they're good people.
People from the South are very, very smart.
Especially the Hennekins.
This tells you two things. One, it's not exactly.
I would hate to follow that up.
It is not exactly Obama land. And secondly, memories fade. People, it's amazing. Several years on, no matter what it was, they were very angry at the time. They look back and say, "Yeah, I was pretty angry, but gee, I'm more annoyed about the last thing." I think it's a pretty unfair poll.
I think the whole attitude has changed there.
At the moment, to ask anybody anything about the federal government, you can't even get the question out. Like, what do you think of the government? It's terrible.
Very true.
Yeah, I mean,
all right. Let's move on to the next story. A column in The Economist last week stated the policies designed to reduce inequality among Americans, specifically when it comes to homeowning, may have been a major catalyst in the financial crisis. The article said government involvement is a stupid way to reduce inequality. Ellis, you get first grab at this.
Well, I mean, it's stupid, but what else do we have, really? I mean, you got to tax the rich people, give some of the money to the poor people. I mean, how else are you going to even it out? I don't think corporations are going to do that voluntarily, are they?
Ben, are they going to do that voluntarily?
Yeah. A classic example of where government says, hey, no matter how bad you are at paying the bills you currently have, we want you to own a house because that's the American dream, so we're going to make it easier on you. Since 2004, home ownership has actually declined in this country. Proof that this liberal policy of giving people something they can't afford to pay for right now never will ever work in this country. You got to earn it and you got to pay for it.
Mike, is it unintended consequences, like the aim is high, but the reality is not?
Yeah, totally. But every country in the Western world has a political elite that sees nobility in getting as many people as they can on the housing ladder. And the problem is it was all very fine in most countries for several years until this housing bust. It totally screws with the mortgage market, there's no doubt, and the US has particular problems that a lot of other countries don't, which they should address, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and this crazy notion of allowing your mortgage interest to be deducted from your tax.
Hey, now I love that. Come on, you're going to take that away from me?
I like that one.
Something from the British.
Can't believe
the
that.
British did that in
Learn from the British of failing power.
They stopped that in 91. Now they have a completely level playing field.
Yeah, maybe the Republicans will take on that cause. That'd be a great
that'd be
one.
so popular.
Yeah, real popular.
All right, let's go into the next story. And this one is critical, let me tell you. Another poll is out. This is about sex in the workplace. 15% of women at the director level or above admitted to having an affair with their boss, and a third of those women say it paid off. The study was by the Center for Work-Life Policy. Mike, do you believe this?
Yes.
Oh, no.
I think I mean, you could probably go back to Roman times. Since there were offices, there were office affairs. Even before there were offices, there were office affairs. I guess in the Roman times, the Greeks, it would be senatorial affairs, although we still have those as well. I absolutely believe it. I think that, and in the corporate world, starting with the Harry Stone cipher case, there was the Ralph Alvarez case at McDonald's.
Okay, so sex happens.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
Ben, good or bad? Office sex.
Yeah, no, I'll be honest with you. I think that numbers are probably even higher than this, and a lot of people probably didn't tell the truth. I think the sad part is it's really hurting women that are trying to move up and do it the right way through having good work ethic and kicking people's tails at the office and being a smart businesswoman. And I think that's the saddest part is you got people that are looking in the office going, is that woman moving up the platform because she's, you know, making moves on the boss, or is she actually really that smart and bright? And everybody loses in this one. Well, at least maybe for some of the bosses, they're winning, but you know.
What do you say?
You know, Jerry, I've met some of these guys, and I'm telling you, they wouldn't be getting much of anything if they didn't have promotions to pass out. These slumpy, middle-aged, bald-headed, gut-busting. That's the only way they can get a date, most of them.
Pals and effort, isn't it?
I think women are doing a great job, and they're not cheating at the margins. All right, we've got another story here. Radar Online is reporting a woman is suing everyone involved with the MTV hit show Jersey Shore, claiming she was assaulted by the show's security guards. The entire cast, including Snooki, with whom the woman was arguing with at the time of the event, they're named in the lawsuit. Ben, do you care deeply about this?
I could care less, but I am glad that someone's finally suing the entire network who enables these people that no one's ever heard of to walk out there with cameras and feel like, because they have bodyguards, they can trash and get in anybody's face they want to. I mean, that's the one good thing is go after the people that are empowering them to be so irresponsible and the people that are actually holding the cameras. Kudos for the woman for suing on this one. I don't like lawsuits, but this one is going to be fun.
Alice?
Listen, finally we found somebody who's worse than the cast of Jersey Shore, Jay Wow, and Snooki. You know what? As long as people keep watching this stuff, Ben Ferguson, it's going to keep coming on the air. Don't blame the executives or even the low-rent stars of it. Blame us.
Blame us for watching, Mike.
I'm going to be really courageous and admit to finding Jersey Shore oddly compelling. It's sort of like the Celine Dion song everyone has on their iPod that nobody wants to admit's really there, but they know you really do listen to it. Watch this stuff. It's like, oh, that's absolute trash. I mean, you can't take your eyes off it. There's something weird. It's something about human behavior, base instinct.
You love it, and you're pro-lawsuit.
It's gripping stuff.
Against lawsuit.
I don't really care if somebody sues them. I just want to watch them.
Okay, all right. Well, thanks, Ben, Ellis, and Mike. Appreciate your time today. As if the controversy surrounding